All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out for this June meeting for the Appalachian Mountain Bike Club. I'm Matthew Kellogg. If you haven't gotten to know me yet, just stick around. I've been here for a bit. We want to thank our hosts here at Southside Garage first off for having us over. They've got a food truck out front, but Dave Williams has pizza on the back on the back picnic table. I think it's $3 a slice. It gets cheaper as the night goes on, so just keep that in mind if you're a value-conscious shopper like Grant Barton. All right, so let's get with our ride reports. Where have people been riding this last month? I know Zirkle was out of country doing a little road riding. That was fun, huh? Marcy, did you ride out of country as well or not? Tell us about that stationary bike.
There's a few excellent stationary bikes in Nairobi.
My goodness. I had times riding up at Big South Fork until I kind of broke my bicycle and had to walk out of the woods about 10 miles. But it was a fantastic day regardless. I literally threw my derailleur away at Chair Creek Lodge. 9 miles. Eric Olgren did pick me up for the last mile. I do appreciate that. Anybody else been out riding and want to tell us about it before I point you out on the spot? Tony, where you been? Nowhere, he says. Oh, he blew his bike up as well. What's that? Oh, Tina reports that Sharps is good. I believe it. I've been out of town for the last 6 days, and our what is the weather recording device? Rain gauge. That is full of water, overflowing. So, yeah, y'all had quite a bit of rain. We also had quite a bit of rain in North Carolina. Zirkle. Oh, Eric said a bear attack. Big South Fork from a bear attack. Wow. Eric's everywhere at Big South Fork. Next up, we're going to have Madeline come talk about all things Joyride. I know they had a Joyride up at Big South Fork. Is that right? Were you on that ride, Madeline?
No, but I'll give you guys a recap. I heard it was really fun. Aaron, do you want to talk about it?
Ellen, you were on that ride. You want to talk about it?
It was great. We had about 20 ladies come, and we broke into two groups, and one did 25 miles and they did 15. So it was great.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you guys. Thanks, Ellen. So I want to talk about first the South Loop summer sessions that we've been doing this summer. We've scheduled 6 rides throughout the summers for beginner to beginner plus ladies to get more comfortable with the South Loop. So what we do is we ride each section of the South Loop. We meet in a different parking lot each time, and so that you can ride a different part of the South Loop and become more comfortable. And then at the end of the summer, we'll ride the whole South Loop together, and it'll be a big joy ride, and we'll probably swim in the quarry at the end because it's going to be in August, so it's going to be really hot by then. So we've already done one. The first ride was Burnett Creek Fork Slot, and they rode, I wasn't at that one, but they rode Anderson School Lost Chromosome. So the next one, we're meeting, it's July 10th. We're going to ride from Anderson School and ride in Hasty to get everybody comfortable with the Hasty section of the South Loop. So those are up on Facebook and Eventbrite right now. If you want to go on there and register, please do that as soon as possible so you can reserve your spot because these are small rides, so they fill up really quickly. So that's a South Loop summer session. And then the next one we're doing is going to be July 9th at 9 a.m. at IC King. That's going to be a Sunday, and that is for beginner mountain bikers. So if you're a beginner lady who wants to come and ride IC King and make some friends and have a good time, please come and register by July 8th. So the Saturday before, registered by July 9th. And also, we're always looking for volunteers. So if you want to volunteer, please contact me or Ellen or Aaron. Yeah. And new riders for the July 9th IC King. So thanks. Did I recap everything?
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Thanks, Madeline. So next up, you'll notice that we are not currently doing work days. We typically take the summers off, with the exception of some volunteer crews that head out and do special projects. So look for those work days to start up more towards the fall. Trail Committee, Wes Lamberson, you want to come up and talk a little bit about recap from our trail survey that went out. So there was a subcommittee within the Trails Committee that put together a great survey. Hopefully everyone participated in that. We got a ton of different responses from that. Wes, if you would hear a recap, and then we're going to throw out some graphics tomorrow that will essentially put these points in graphic form. So here's Wes.
Yeah, a ton of great responses on this. I'll give you all the quick rundown on this. So we had almost 500 responses, including those of you who were responding here and online. So as far one of the first questions we asked was like, what's your type? What kind of trails are you all looking for? And we saw heavy responses for like traditional cross country single track flow trails, and more advanced features on existing trails, gravity and directional trails. What I see there is people want more trails in general, right, of all types. So we'll keep working on that. Further out into the distance, we were asking y'all where do you want to see more trails? Where do you see more opportunities out in the future? We saw a lot of interest in expanding the urban wilderness further to the southwest, right? So that's the Brown Mountain Ridge area. So we'll be looking to make some partnerships happen over there, see what we can make happen in that area. And then what? Yes. And then let's see. As far as what kind of projects can we get started on right now? We're seeing a lot of interest across the board again with like whatever kind of trail projects we can make happen. So it's good to see that. But specifically, a lot of interest in more cross-country loops and connections similar to Trans Farm, and more options for private partnerships. So again, like I think.
Yeah. So I think that it was great to get a poll out. It was great to get some feedback. You know, we expected to see a whole lot of gravity specific type stuff. It wasn't like across the board, that's the only thing people want to see. It is a very broad spectrum of riders that AMBC has within its membership. And so it was great to see sort of some of those pinpoints, and community connections are definitely high on that list. Oftentimes those don't come with a ton of trail miles, but they mean a lot to individuals of the neighborhoods that surround them. And so we're certainly working diligently now. We've got a project that we proposed to the city to increase access over at Stanley Lippincott to give some access hopefully over to Davenport, which would sort of open up an easy way in. I say easy, there's still elevation there, but an easier way, sort of backdoor into Sevier Avenue where we're at here, and make good connections over towards Baker Creek and points further. So thanks to the Trails Committee and that subcommittee for putting together that work. We'll share some of those graphics out tomorrow, so you guys can see sort of bar charts of where you guys voted and how it all stacked up. So appreciate your time and effort there. News. We've got Baker Creek Bike Park. The asphalt surfaces over at Baker Creek are going to be closing for a couple days this week. And Wes, do you want to talk about this real quick? What was that? Yeah, come on up. So Wes Soward, past president and current urban wilderness coordinator, is going to tell us about the project he's got to reseal the pump track.
That's pretty much it. But
When's it happening?
so we've got crews that are scheduled, weather dependent, everything looking good. Thursday and Friday, spread the word. The pump tracks will be closed while they're working out there. They're going to put a new seal coat on the pump tracks, new striping, so it should look fresh and help that thing be more sustainable for the next few years. It's been a couple years since it's been sealed. They did that right after they initially installed it to start with. So that's going on there. And I want to make one more mention of another project that adjacent to the pump tracks. At the end of South Haven, you'll notice when you're over there, it's been rainy last week, so you might not have been over around the trails. Where South Haven, the road, there's a neighborhood connection there that we were able to establish. It's going to become a good EMS access point and a service point for trail work. But I'd like to encourage everyone, if you see anybody that's parking over there using the park, discourage that behavior. We want them to park over at the, Baker Creek Bottoms is very amenable to people parking and using those services, but the city has parking lots down on Tilson, and we'll have one at the bottom of Baker Creek too. So just keep an eye on that as that project develops.
Yeah, that's a great point. Be a good neighbor, right? And so a lot of these different trail entrances may have what seems like a little bit of parking. They are certainly not all trailheads. Things that come to mind are like up on View Park, where the trail crosses near the bamboo. There are no parking signs up there. Residents can certainly park up there, but it's not a trailhead for us average folks to go up there and clog up a neighborhood street. And that's the same thing off of South Haven. So, if it gets abused, it likely will have to get closed, but it's a great pedestrian connection in through the end of the park there. We're also hoping to shoehorn in maybe a water station there in the future. Wes just gave me a thumbs up. So summer of 2023, where we should be able to fill up a bottle of water right there beside the pump track, which will be incredible. Thanks for that update, Wes. Oh, yeah. You got to be able to wash your bike off somehow. So, no, Ryan, would you tell us about what you're working on? You did a couple of sentences about what you got going down. Close to the...
All right. For those who don't know me, I'm Ryan. I also ride for an organization, Pedal for Alzheimer's. And July 23rd, we are hosting a preview ride for the K-Town on the River Triathlon. And afterwards, there'll be $1 off beers at Alliance. And we'll also be hosting a silent auction at Alliance on July 23rd. So we are trying to encourage people and promote people to come out, bid on all sorts of cycling items. And we're also looking for more people or companies, bike shops, for donations for silent auction items in July. So if you want to reach out to us, you can reach out to us on pedalforalzheimers.org or through social media to get through, and someone will be able to point you in the direction for donations and more information. And right now, the ride sign up for the preview is on signup.com.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Alliance, obviously, a huge supporter of AMBC and the trails, just right down the street from here. That again is July 23rd. That's a Sunday, correct? Sunday afternoon. So awesome. We popped a link up to Pedal for Alzheimer's on our Facebook feed here. Any of the links that you need from tonight will just be within that video on our Facebook page. I wanted to I get emails from IMBA all the time, our parent organization, and Philly D, our SORBA executive director here, would love for me to always mention membership, because SORBA and IMBA and AMBC are all membership organizations. And I was reviewing our numbers, and we're up consistently, it seems like in the last few years, by double digits. And so another 10% increase over this year. So everybody, pat yourself on the back for being a member of what I think is the best club in the Southeast. Philip would argue that there might be some competition there, but I think we got it. So check your memberships. I know that I'm a member of not only AMBC, but also Clinch River. It's a really easy option to just have them auto renew and just ding it every month. Take it off the credit card every month and become a member of as many clubs as you want. I think Shaggy is up to 6 at this point. he joins every club he works for, and so that's a pretty cool way to stay involved. Another way to be involved, AMBC. We've talked about community connections. We'll talk about how AMBC is also a community voice. I was reminded recently that we're coming up on an election season, and every member here should consider what their status is as far as voting and make sure to be involved in whatever elections they want to. We've got a city election coming up in a primary coming up, and we're going to just post a link to the Election Commission. I know we've had various candidates come through our organization over the years, and we certainly appreciate having a voice in different areas. We like to work with everybody at the table, that's for sure, and AMBC will continue to do that. So nonetheless, we've posted a link up to the Election Commission. Early voting starts August 9th, so consider that. Big Fun Tuesday is coming up. We are moving that from July 4th. We thought you might be busy to July the 11th. So that's over at Meets Quarry. If you want to hop over to there, IMS will have a food truck that evening. Sorry, we're having a little mic difficulty tonight. Sometimes we're thrifty and don't always get the highest quality audio equipment, but nonetheless, wait. Hey, it's a birthday tonight, too. Whose birthday is it? We love birthdays, though. We love parties. That's true. So I mentioned Big Fun Tuesday. It's shifted to August 11th. Now I just want to give a quick recap of what the Trails crew has been up to this last month. When I say Trails crew, I also mean the volunteers that keep our system working. One to mention, Zoko's been slacking a little bit between vacationing and weather delays, but he's been working on a huge invasive project over at Baker Creek, right alongside Sycamore Loop. You may notice that there have been a number of honeysuckle and privet bushes that are no longer there. It's an incredible space underneath the canopy there. Can't wait to potentially build some picnic tables over there. We'll see. It is really cool space that you're creating over there, Zirkle. The AMBC Trail crew, I know they processed over 80 posts. They're prepping for Icy King and for Concord. And when I say Concord, I mean Concord West, like Ballfield property. So to date, there are very few signs. The signs that are out there are a lot of signs that Tony's put out or Dave. And some of those are going to be like, Dave and Tony's signs are going to be unique. The ones you're going to see from us are going to be traditional 6x6 directional signs. So we're going to be supplementing Tony's work out there, but look for about 80 posts to be set out at Concord and Icy King in the next little bit. We do appreciate our relationships with the county as well. We make a list of materials that are needed, and 80 posts is nothing to shake a stick at. That's quite a bit of money and pressure-treated lumber, and so we appreciate the county coming to the table to help us out with that, to make everybody's life a little bit more simple when they get to an intersection, know where they're going, and have great rides, have great walks in the woods. We've had a ton of volunteer help with brush cutting this last month. Alex Clark has been helping to organize the annual brush cutting, and that has been happening at all the area parks. Our crew, the paid staff, has been working tirelessly on one trail, actually. You're going to notice a huge difference. They spent over 7.5, 8 days over on Flow Trail at IMS, just outside of Meets Quarry. More than 200 man-hours went into clearing invasives along the corridor of the Flow Trail. And a huge amount of work that's been done. IMS is thrilled to have us on property working on that project. We will be working through different trails over the season in order to make long-standing progress, right? We're noticing corridors that we're able to actually cut and treat or physically pull. They just need a lot less brush blades each year, and it's a much more sustainable trail corridor. So we're thrilled to have the crew working on that. The crew is also, I think they may have, did you guys get around to spray painting the new machine? Yeah, he says. All right, so we turned a brand new red excavator OD green last week. So your membership dollars helped us. That we sold an excavator, bought a new one. So keeping our fleet sort of young. We can do that with machines. It's hard with our bodies, but nonetheless, you'll see that machine out and about. I know the crew is working off the truck just about every single day. George is working on some graphics for that puppy, so you won't think the crew is just a landscape crew for much longer. You will know that AMBC is in the parking lot here in the future. So other than that, one of our ways we're thanking our volunteers that are doing brush blade work is we do have an open tab for the folks that are working on brush work for us. And so if you're interested in an open tab at Trailhead, you should talk to Alex Clark about getting behind a brush blade because it pays well. And with that, we got two things. Mary Beth, we got comments from the internet. Alex is not here. But to get involved, trails@ambcnox.org. That's the same email address you use for any trail issues, whether that be a tree, a drain, a bridge, any of those things. You can reach out to us at trails@ambcnox.org. Alex still has about a 48-hour return time on trees, so try them. Try them hard. They disappear. What else we got, Mary Beth? Okay, Alex is asking for additional help with trimming, so make sure to... Oh, he wants to know statuses on trail. So as you get back out, as the trail's dry, make sure to send reports over to trails@ambcnox.org. Then we'll know our pressure points. We've got a crew of 60 individuals that we're going to be working with this Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday on not only invasive clearing, but also face slappers and that sort of stuff. So we're going to be doing quite a bit of work with that volunteer group this week. Dave and the crew have been working really hard to get that done. I've got two more things, actually. Grant Barton, your blinky light's been on the entire meeting. And safety first. And lastly, Mateo is not here. Oh, gosh. I can't do mine. It's the end. What did you got? Oh, Kenny. Kenny says thank you. Kenny Crossman from, is he in Oneida? He's in the Big South Fork area and spent the weekend with us for National Trails Day. So Kenny's taken on a lot of responsibility. Joe is still certainly involved, Joe Cross. But they send their heartfelt thank yous. We were able to accomplish a lot during the workday at Big South Fork this year. Some great drainages were dug over on whatever it is, that trail. It's going to come to me after the meeting. Grand Gap. Yeah, we were on Grand Gap. You're right. On some of the road sections, no less. So wide drainages that just, habitual problems that we made a difference in this year for sure. And I look forward to the list for next year. We have already reserved the group campsite for the first weekend in June. So put it on your calendar. We'll be there. Randy Connor has something. He's got two things. Randy Connor, welcome to the meeting. You're right in front of the camera. But you look good.
Oh, thank you. McPhee Park, if you're looking for a place for kids to ride, we had a ribbon cutting out there this morning. It's a mile and a half long, really easy grades, wide trail. It's a great place for kids. It's adaptive, friendly. So that's a good place to go. The other thing I have is Aspire Park. There's a lot of questions. Is it open? Can I ride? Where do I park? All that stuff. Aspire Park is open. You can ride all of it, except please do not ride in the pump track and the jump line right now because it's construction site. And they really don't want anybody where there's going to be dump trucks and bulldozers and all that. And there's a lot of that going on. They're saying that grand opening is probably this time next year. So it was supposed to be this time about 2 years ago, but they're still working. But there's about 18 miles of trail. Tim is finishing the last piece of single track this week. So, to park, there's Ingalls. If you're coming from the interstate, it's right before you get to the park. If you're coming north on Clinton Highway, it's just past the park. And don't park in the Ingalls Park. There's an abandoned auto parts store that's owned by the same people that developed the park. Please park there, ride in. You can ride in from the backside down Carden Farm Road. There's a yellow gate. You can hop in right there. Yeah, Doug?
No permit needed.
There is a permit that they're trying to put out. Go ride it.
Yeah, I was told as well, go ride it. Make sure to pay attention to any construction fences. I'm always hesitant when people just say go ride things, but the owners have said go do it. I thought it was mapped on Trail Forks. I just pulled it up, and it is. Okay, so I thought I'd seen it there. So you can find your way around in the woods via Trail Forks, so I got two things, Mary Beth. Sorry. Oh, you're done. Okay. First thing, I'm going to let our mayor speak because she requested a little bit of time with some updates of what's going on in the urban wilderness other than asphalt ceiling at the pump track.
All right. Thank you, Matthew. It's nice to see you all again. I know most of you because I was involved in mountain biking long before I became mayor. But I just want to give you a little update on some investments that the city's making to continue to maintain the amazing trail infrastructure that began with volunteers in this club and has been continued and made better in partnership with the city, county, legacy parks, and many others. So just wanted to say, that we have made some progress we've completed some projects. The Urban Wilderness Gateway Park Phase Park 1 is $3.6 million. So, you guys do a lot of the labor, and we have more money than we have labor, so we appreciate that we can back up your labor with major money for capital investments. So we're also $1.7 million in Augusta Quarry parking. Those are both projects that have been completed. And also both those sites now are in phase 2. So Urban Wilderness Gateway Park, this one I'm particularly excited about. The Baker Creek Pavilion, $2.6 million. That's going to be finished this year. And it's going to have bathrooms. So that's good news. That don't tip over. We're talking permanent bathrooms, good stuff. I'm also really proud that, when AMBC calls the city and says we have an opportunity to acquire more land, we need your help. We say yes. The Hasty is a good example of that you all raised $100,000. We matched that with $100,000. We also now grant $100,000 to AMBC for operating funds to help you guys maintain trails in ways that our park staff could never do because it's too far away. Most of our parks crews are not mountain bikers. They're not going to go in the middle of the trails, and it would take too much time. So we're so grateful that you guys maintain these trails. They're part of our city park system, the parks that are inside the city, and we want to work with you to maintain them up to our standards. I also just want to say I'm really excited about, we talked about these connections that aren't directly for mountain biking, but are really important to get to the trails. The Lancaster sidewalk is, as you know, under construction. That's one of those things that people are like, why didn't you do this? And it always takes a lot longer to acquire the right of ways and get it funded, but it's happening. Some other things that are upcoming is more on the Augusta Quarry Phase 2. You might have noticed there's more people at Meads Quarry because Augusta Quarry is supposed to be closed. If you're using it, don't tell me. But it's going to be great, and it's going to really improve access and amenities and also have bathrooms. We are partnering with Legacy Parks to put money into the GNO Rail Sono Art Trail, which again, very accessible paved part, but a connection to the whole South Wilderness. So I just wanted to just share those millions of dollars worth of investments because your work deserves the investment from the city because you're making our city better. And I'm totally committed. I hope I've demonstrated that as mayor, and I want to continue that in the years to come. And my best way to demonstrate my commitment to AMBC and mountain biking is I hired Wes Howard to make sure all these projects are carried forward in a way that's strategic and efficient, and also with great input from all of you, and also that you're doing a great job communicating back out, because there's so many things going on. It's hard for me to keep track. So a lot of things been achieved, a lot of things more to come. Also, not a small thing that will affect in a positive way, I believe, is the pedestrian bridge. We got $20 million grant from the state of Tennessee to move forward on the pedestrian. It'll be pedestrian and for bikes. And we're hoping to find out from the federal government a raised grant before the end of this month. So that's sometime in the next few days. So anyhow, thank you for all the work you do. And I hope I'll get to see you on the trails more soon.
Thanks so much, Mayor. It's always great to be out on the trails and bump into Mayor Concannon out and about. And it's cool that we have a trail user at the highest level up there. So incredible. One other project that my family is really interested in that's also in the works is the playground that's going to be built at Baker Creek as well. So new playground going in right across from the bathrooms on the hillside. I know I think that's this summer, right, Wes? Final designs are in the works. All right. So, yeah, progress is being made on a cool new playground over there at Baker Creek as well. My last thing, and then I'm going to be done, I promise, is I want to thank Mateo, who is not here this evening. But Mateo was our AmeriCorps volunteer for the last year, and I want everybody to put your hands together for Mateo. He did an incredible job over the last year, and wish he could be here this evening. He is going to join us actually the next few days when we've got a huge crew. He's going to help us be a crew leader, or help be a crew leader for that project. He's going to stay in Knoxville. He's actually going to be working with CAC AmeriCorps at their main office, so we're psyched to have him stay in town. He does have a mountain bike at this point. He does have some new scars, and we're psyched about all that. And we are currently interviewing AmeriCorps applicants for this next season. If you know anybody who's interested in that pool or being involved with AmeriCorps, send them our direction. I can get them hooked up with CAC AmeriCorps. I think it's a pretty good gig. Dave and Warren are not bad bosses, so might as well join them. Anyway, with that, we're going to see you next month. Next month is July. We'll be here the 4th Monday in July. Thanks so much. Toodaloos. You want to go inside, but we're outside. Pizza is going on sale. Dave says, fire sale on pizza. It all must go. Mateo is not here to take it. Oh, that was all live.